Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review of The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 12. And this episode is called Not Tomorrow Yet. And this episode came out on March 6, 2016. And, this episode starts off showing a montage of Carol. And it shows her going through this montage of making beets, acorn cookies. Now, obviously, there was supposed to be a tie-in to this, and then she goes to give it some to Tobin, and you can kind of see that they're kind of flirting with each other. So I actually thought that was a pretty good scene. And then Rick and all the other people come back, and Rick tells everyone that they're going to have a meeting at the church. Then Carol, Morgan confronts Carol and wonders why her, Rosita, Tara, and Denise didn't tell Rick about what Morgan did. And Carol said that it's not important, and they kind of get into like a little bit of a debacle, and then it cuts to the theme song. So all of this gets up. It's set up pretty nicely to the episode, and I thought that was enough. So then, another thing obviously, because there was some subplots in the beginning, I'll kind of talk about that all separately. So I'm just going to talk about the scene with the church first, kind of chronologically, because that's kind of the biggest thing. Rick reveals to the group, at least everybody at the church, that they have to go fight Negan's group to save the Hill Climb group, which is the name of the group from the last episode. And Morgan doesn't want to. Morgan opposes, because obviously he has that Kino belief where he said that there's a better way. But Rick said the only way is to kill him. You don't want to just sit down and talk to him. And yeah, basically Rick and Morgan kind of get into a dispute over whether or not they want to kill these guys. And I like this up. Obviously, I kind of like that it kind of goes with Morgan's thing. And then the episode continues. Other things that get up is everything they did with Carol in this episode. Carol basically has made like a kill list of everybody that she's killed. She talks about how she killed, in this show. And then she goes to Tobin's house, and Tobin thinks that she's very remarkable, that she's able to do all this cleaning and stuff, but yet is still able to be a risk. That just shows the signs of a good mom. And she said that she used to be a mom, and Tobin says that basically it's not the definition of a mom is the scary, remarkable things that they would do, which is true. So I liked this message up. And then Abraham leaves Rosita. Basically, he says he's doing it because shit happens, and he doesn't really give a clear reason. And then Rosita gets upset, and then Eugene comes up and is eating one of Carol's cookies and said, "Have you tried this yet? It's a really good cookie." And he's wearing like an "I Love Virginia" t-shirt, and I thought that was funny. I want Rosita and Eugene to be a thing now. I think that would be awesome. But I thought this was also good too. Up. I was going to give it a down because obviously, it wasn't that I didn't like it, but I just thought Abraham was a dick. But obviously, it was still a good context. So yeah, this was an up. It's good. Maybe I misread the picture with the baby completely wrong. I think he wants to be with Sasha. That's what I think. So, and then obviously another thing that gets an up is Rick's group is making a plan on how they're going to go about attacking Negan's group. So they finally come up with the idea that maybe they give up Gregory's head and make him think that they are, which obviously is going to be a tie-in. And now I want to talk about everything all in kind of all at one thing. So then Rick's group goes out there, and Rosita's pissed because she says that she should... I also forgot to mention another thing. Tara also tells Denise that she loves her. So I thought that was a good scene. And Denise says that she'll tell her that she loves her when she gets back. But we obviously find out that there's more to this later on. So yeah, Rick's group's going out there, and they're going to make a plan about how they're going to attack Negan's group. They're going to do it at night. and Glenn and Hedon go out to get and kill a few zombies, and they cut one of their heads off, and pose it as Gregory. I thought that was very smart, actually. And Glenn and Hedon are talking about how they never killed anybody before, and they talk about what that feeling's going to be like, and it says it's going to be like the feeling like you haven't eaten in a few days. So I did kind of like how they kind of touched on that. And then Carol's not happy that Maggie's out there. I'm assuming it's because she's pregnant, and she shouldn't be out there doing that type of stuff. I'm assuming there's going to be more of a wall out there anyways. So Carol wants to keep God with Maggie, so Rick accepts it. Rick comes up with the plan that they're going to go in at night, and they're going to go in with the poet's head that he had to kind of rearrange. He punched it in and said, just say you broke his nose and he broke your hand. And he tells Eddie to do that, I think is his name. So then, so I like this scene. So then Eddie goes to the Negan's group, and it's basically kind of like a plant. And two gods come out, and they go get Craig, and because he shows them the head, and they make like a ton of funny jokes with it. They talk with the head. It was so disgusting, but yet so funny. And then the two gods come out, and as one of them was gone, Rick's group comes up and kills one of them, and then the group comes out and kills the other one. And basically, this is all going very, very smoothly. Rick's group is slowly picking off the group members bit by bit by bit. I did like the scene where Glenn and Hedon kind of struggled with it because they had never killed anybody before, and Hedon was about to do it, and then Glenn does it for him because he didn't want to have him live the experience. I thought that was great. Then we found out that guy's basically a psychopath, because he has like a ton of pictures of just zombies that are all cut up and decayed. I thought that was pretty cool. And basically, before this happens, Tara confesses to Gabriel that she lied, that she said she loved Denise. She just said it as a cover-up because she said that she did something like this before, which obviously was back in season 4 when her and the governor all came in and shot up Rick's group. So she said that she used it as a cover-up because she didn't want to say that, but she said she really does love Denise. So I thought this was a good scene. I also thought another really good scene was when everything stopped. Oh, I can't talk about this part yet because I haven't. So basically, Abraham and Sasha get caught. So one of the guards, after he gets killed, pulls the fire alarm, and this kind of lets everybody know that Rick's group has invaded. So Maggie wants to go in and help, but Carol refuses to let her do so. So Maggie's not happy about this, and they kind of get into a tension. I like the tension that Maggie and Carol had and then basically Rick's group gets into a shootout with Negan's group. They absolutely murder them, and basically they murder them. I mean, there's really nothing to say about it. I love the shootout. I love, obviously when Glenn and Negan went into the room and closed the door behind him and absolutely shot the room with bullets. And then one of the guys wasn't dead yet. He went to shoot his gun, and Jesus showed up and shot him in the back of the head. That was a good kill. Obviously, some of the good kills that Rick had. And yeah, it was just basically a great shootout. Then afterwards, it kind of shows the aftermath, and Rick's groups think they've won. And then obviously it shows Morgan too, kind of coping with the fact about whether or not he wants to kill. Morgan will get it up. I thought that was pretty good. But then we find out that there was one, that then they ask, Michonne asks, but which one was Negan? And then somebody comes out with a motorcycle. Now this was the motorcycle that Glenn was riding when he was kidnapped by those two people that I don't remember their names of off the top of my head. And Rick and Glenn shoot him, and somebody talks into the walkie-talkie that Glenn had, and basically reveals, basically Rick tells him to come out, we just want to talk, and said, I'll talk, but I won't come out. And then she says, we have Glenn and Maggie. let's talk about that. And then the episode goes off the air. That was the hook. That was the big cliffhanger to get us to tune into the next one. I thought this was a great episode. Definitely an 8.5 out of 10. I think this has probably been the... I don't know if it's this one, episode 9 or episode 4 has been the best one of the season. I'd have to watch them all consecutively to really judge. But I think this has been one of the better episodes of the season. And obviously you can clearly see that I think these... I think 13, 14, 15, and 16, I could see maybe like one being filler. I'm going to be like really... But I definitely expect these last few episodes to be really damn good, considering the fact that it's finishing off season 6. Season 6. But I expect probably one of them to be filler. I just don't know which one it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be the next one, but I think it's going to be like 14 will be filler, and then maybe 15. I expect either 14 or 15 to be the filler episodes, and then 16 will be like obviously really good. But I don't know. I thought that about episode 8, and then that sucked. So obviously you can't just assume and make these predictions. So we have to wait and see until the next episode. So let's find out. Yeah, basically there's really nothing left to say. I'm gonna try to see if I can get 2 more of these up. So I'm not done making the videos yet. So let's keep them going.